Good morning, beloveds. It is the last day of August, and our title is I Merge with the Infinite. I don't know whether to wear my glasses or not, so let's go without. Canst thou, by searching, find out God? Canst thou find out the Almighty unto perfection? It is as high as heaven, the measure thereof is longer than the earth, and broader than the sea. That's Job 11, 7 through 9. Realize that thou art that, Brahma, which is the cessation of all differentiation, which never changes its nature, and is unmoved as a waveless ocean, eternally unconditioned and undivided. And that is Hindu philosophy. Job asks us if we can find God by searching. He means that since God is everywhere, and since the subtle essence of the infinite is invisible, we do not have to search out the divine spirit, but rather we should recognize it as the center of all life. That which we see is merely a reflection of this invisible presence. The spirit itself cannot be seen, but it is felt. Just as we do not see the essence of beauty, but feel its presence, so we do not see God, but we do feel the divine in everything. The Creator is revealed in its creation. The formless gives rise to the formed. We should consciously unite ourselves with this invisible essence, which pervades everything, which the ancients perceived to be eternally unconditioned and undivided. To do this is to find wholeness. Today, I consciously merge with the infinite. There seems to be a beginning and an end to each particular experience. There is neither beginning nor end to myself. My real spirit is omnipresent in God, secure in good, and perfect in divine being. And if you haven't guessed, that's Ernest Holmes. Definitely Ernest Holmes. Okay. I think it's a quote by Ansel Adams, and it talks about the search for God while destroying the visible presence of God, meaning nature. And that's why I think it's a quote by Ansel Adams, who's a very famous nature photographer. Some of the most incredible nature landscapes that you've seen were probably Ansel Adams. And I think that there's been a number of Native American leaders who have had a similar quote. It's like, you talk about God, and yet you destroy the visible presence of So in Science of Mind, we talk about God. We talk about the fact that every single thing, both living and not, is formed from the same substance. We all have the same source. We are all sourced from God. So literally everything you see in form is made of God's stuff. Which is why I really like that quote. My real spirit is omnipresent in God, secure in good and perfect in divine being. It's like when we know who we are, when we know what we are looking at all around us all of the time, it moves us to treat it differently. If you looked in the eyes of another living being and saw God looking back at you, then ideally you would treat that living thing with more respect. And it's the same with the inanimate stuff. It's like, okay, this is made of God's stuff. Everything is sacred. And yet we've made a decision to treat certain stuff as sacred, a very narrow window of what we treat as sacred. And then we treat everything else as mundane. And yet it all has the same source. So it's like, if we would stop and look and think, everything is sacred. And that doesn't mean it can't be touched. It doesn't mean that it shouldn't be touched. It just means that everything, and everyone should be handled with more of a level of respect than we are doing, including ourselves. Which is kind of the sticking point there. It's like, yes, my child, you yourself are sacred. Are you treating yourself that way? And that's one of the reasons why I talk so much about self-care. It's like, we are channels for God in this world. We are God in action in this world. Are we all of God? No. We are an infinitesimally small part of God, but we are still part of. And that makes us sacred. And it behooves us to treat ourselves and each other as sacred. It behooves us to treat all living things as sacred. And what would the world look like if we did? What would the world look like if we treated everything as sacred? Because so much of the world now is disposable. And that's hard. That's hard. Because it's still sacred. Ugh, Ernest, you make me think. You make me think in ways that are difficult. But that's the point of spiritual practice. The title today is I merge with the infinite. I merge with the infinite. It means that I am aware of. That's why in Science of Mind, we focus on both thoughts and feelings. Where our power is where our feelings go. And so you want to be very aware of your feelings. It's like, get in touch with your feeling nature, because that's where your power is. Look at your thoughts and then look at the feelings that are attached to your thoughts. And then wonder why your life looks the way it does. Because your feelings are where the power is. And that's kind of what he says here. It's like, we do not have to search out the divine spirit, but rather we should recognize it at the center of all life. That which we see is merely a reflection of this invisible presence. Everything around us is the divine. Everything. That the spirit itself cannot be seen, but it is felt. The spirit itself cannot be seen, but it is felt. And that is why we focus on our feelings. That is why we are aware of our feelings. That is why we watch where our feelings go. We watch what thoughts we wrap feelings around, because that is where the power is. That is how we make the changes in our world, by looking at the feelings and looking at the thoughts and attaching appropriately. And when we have strong emotions, and we are allowed to have strong emotions, we want to be aware of what thoughts we are attaching those strong emotions to. Okay? And I like that in his affirmation he says, there seems to be a beginning and an end to each particular experience, but there is no beginning nor end to me. Okay? There's no beginning or end to ourselves. Our real spirit is omnipresent in God. And God doesn't change and is not bound by time and space. In this particular material form, we are bound in time and space. But there is a part of us that isn't. All right. So, his mission, the mission today, should we choose to accept it, is to consciously unite ourselves with this invisible essence. To consciously unite. What does that mean? To look in the eyes of every living thing and see God looking back at you. To treat everything as sacred. To treat it with the respect that you accrue to God. everything, and see how it changes your world. That's the mission today, should we choose to accept it. All right, to consciously unite with the creative essence. Whatever that looks like to you. Okay, so then the other one is the same mission I give you every day, which is to do something loving for yourself, do something kind for yourself, do something compassionate for yourself. If you are going to look in your eyes and see God looking back at you, all right, then it's up to you to respect yourself, to take care of yourself, to practice love, kindness, and compassion on yourself because you deserve it. You are a beloved child of God. You are sacred. So treat yourself that way. Make sure that you are taking care of yourself, and make sure that you are taking time out to enjoy life. That's why I say every day, make it a point to do something every day that you really, really enjoy. And it can be, simple and easy. On Monday night, I got baklava. And you better believe that I took my time and enjoyed that. It's sweet, it's sticky, it's messy, and it's wonderful. And I don't eat a whole lot of it because it's sweet, sticky, and, wonderful. But when I do eat it, I do make sure that I really, really, really enjoy it. I engage all 5 of my senses. And that's part of being loving, kind, and compassionate with yourself. And being loving, kind, and compassionate with yourself is treating yourself as if you were sacred, because you are. All right? So, take a deep breath. Take a nap. Take a walk. Enjoy some baklava. Or as they said, baklava from the Mamma Mia movie, the second one, which I just think is funny as all get out. So make sure that you're taking time to actually enjoy things, all right? Take care of yourself. And then, as always, do something to engage your mind and your body. Please drink plenty of water. It is still really bloody hot out there. There's a lot of moisture in the air, and that just makes me even thirstier. So drink plenty of water. Hydration is super important. Get that early in your day bright light. It will reset those circadian rhythms and help you reset your energy and sleep patterns and do all that. It is science. And open the windows of your soul. Allow the breath of heaven to remind you, you do live in heaven right here, right now. It is all around you all the time. The world around us is the visible expression of the Creator. And it is up to us to do a better job of treating it like that, of respecting it, of taking care of it. And that includes ourselves. Never forget that. So, take Emma's advice, look for the good and praise it. That's how we create heaven on earth. It is an inside-out job. Happiness is an inside-out job. Heaven is an inside-out job. Because you carry it within you all the time, you can create it out here. You can create it. You don't need anybody else. But other people can help. So, All right. I think, So now is where I remind you to catch us on the social medias. We are Creative Life Spiritual Center, Creative Life Spark on TikTok and Instagram and Facebook and YouTube. So depending on where you're watching this. And I am the Running Rev Ryan on the ones that I am on. So there's that. And if you want to know what's going on at the center, because there's book studies and classes, and Jesse's teaching a class through Home Office, which you have to register with Home Office, but it is in our newsletter. So email info@creativelife.org. That'll get you on that constant contact so that you can, the hot links are hot. They'll take you where you want to go to get registered for what you want to register for. I think that's what I know. So I'm going to encourage you to have a great day, a wondrous day, a fantastic day, a magical day, an enchanting day, an enchanted day, a fantastical day, a supercalifragilisticexpialidocious day. Sometimes I like to pull that one out, especially when I've forgotten what I've said and what I haven't said. A good day. And if that is too much pressure, simply have a day, because you are enough just as you are. You are a beloved child of God in whom God is well pleased and well represented. All right? You are the visible representation of that creative divine essence. You are how God moves through this world, just like everybody else. So remember that. Treat yourself like that. Treat other people like the sacred beings that they are. Treat yourself like the sacred being you are. All right? Okay. I don't know what else. So I'm going to move into the process of my day. I'm going to tell you that Reverend David should be on around 5 p.m. with you. I will be back with you at 9 a.m. tomorrow, 9 a.m.-ish. Just like David is 5 p.m.-ish. You never know. But we'll be there. All right? So have an amazing day. It's Wednesday. It's a middle of the week day. Take care of yourself. Know that you are loved, and I will see you next time.